Welcome to one of the poorest countries in the world, a place where economic chaos and despair shape the daily lives of the population, a place so poor that no one desires to visit it. I am talking about Sri Lanka, and in today's video, we will unveil the most surprising facts about this country that is literally struggling to survive. So get ready, because what comes next will surprise you. But first, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing and helps us continue to bring you content. Located south of India, Sri Lanka is an island nation with an area of approximately 65,000 km², much smaller compared to its neighbors, but absolutely rich in natural beauty. The country has a population of about 22 million inhabitants with an ethnic and religious diversity that includes Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims, and Burghers. Formerly known as Ceylon, Sri Lanka was called the Pearl of the Indian Ocean due to the presence of ancient temples, palm-fringed beaches, and unpolluted tropical forests. This tropical island is famous for its peculiar shape that resembles a teardrop of the Indian subcontinent, with a rich geography that varies from white sandy beaches to mountains covered in tropical forests and tea plantations. The country is a true paradise for nature lovers. The capital is Sri Jayawardena Kotte, while the largest city in the country is Colombo, a vibrant metropolis that combines the old and the modern. Located on the western coast of the island, Colombo is the main economic and commercial center of the country, with a population of about 750,000 people. The city features significant colonial architecture that recalls the period when Sri Lanka was a European colony, first by the Portuguese, then by the Dutch, and finally by the British. Historically, the city has been an important natural port frequented by Arab, Roman, and Chinese merchants. Colombo saw its development accelerate in the 19th century, especially with the construction of railways connecting the tea plantations in the interior to the city, along with the expansion of the port. Today, Colombo is a modern city with skyscrapers, bustling markets, and a flourishing food scene. Sri Lanka's economy is diversified, with a focus on agriculture, particularly tea cultivation, and the textile industry, both of which are essential for exports. Fishing is also a vital activity, with many boats decorating the coast of the cities, while some fishermen still use traditional methods such as stilt fishing, a common practice during World War II. However, the country faces significant challenges related to poverty and inequalities. About 25% of the population lives below the poverty line, and many regions, especially in the north and east, are still in the process of recovering after the Civil War. The agricultural sector, which employs much of the rural population, suffers from a lack of infrastructure and limited access to modern technology, which restricts the economic growth of these regions. In 2020, Sri Lanka faced a severe financial crisis that culminated in a declaration of bankruptcy for failing to honor its debts. This led to a severe supply crisis, with shortages of fuel, medicines, and basic foodstuffs that especially affected the poorest. Furthermore, the country frequently faces natural disasters, such as the devastating 2004 tsunami that claimed the lives of 35,000 people. Despite being a paradise tourist destination, Sri Lanka faces serious challenges, and the low influx of tourists is one of them. While tourism brings wealth to some areas, many people continue to struggle with poverty and economic inequality, visible between urban regions like Colombo and rural areas. Access to education and healthcare is limited in these regions, and inequality between the rich and poor continues to increase. Poor infrastructure in areas like transport and sanitation contributes to this situation. Access to drinking water represents another major challenge for the country. Although the island has many freshwater sources, distribution is not always efficient, especially in rural areas during periods of drought. Families must walk long distances to obtain water, which mainly affects women and children. Moreover, water quality is not always guaranteed, which can lead to outbreaks of waterborne diseases like typhoid fever and cholera. Most of Sri Lanka's population is made up of Sinhalese, whose culture and genetics are closely related to those of Indians, especially those who work in fishing and have darker skin tones, a result of long days under the sun in search of sustenance. Another significant community in the country is the Tamils, concentrated in the north and east of the island, who bring a strong Hindu influence directly from India. In some more isolated regions, affected by nutritional deficiencies and limited access to healthcare, goiter, a visible swelling of the neck caused by iodine deficiency, can be found among the communities. This condition, often associated with inadequate nutrition, reflects the impact that poverty and isolation can have on populations that continue to struggle to preserve their traditions and dignity. Buddhism has a marked presence in Sri Lanka, with about 70% of the population practicing this religion. The country is home to some of the oldest Buddhist temples in the world, including the Temple of the Sacred Tooth in Kandy, one of the most revered. This temple houses a relic of Buddha's tooth, becoming an important pilgrimage site for Buddhists worldwide. The city of Anuradhapura, another archaeological gem, is home to one of the oldest trees in the world, the sacred Bodhi tree, believed to be more than 2,000 years old. The country has two official languages, Sinhala and Tamil. Sinhala, spoken by the majority of the population, has Indo-European roots and is mainly used in the southern and central regions of the country, while Tamil, one of the world's oldest languages, is widely spoken in the north and east, and is also the language of the Tamil community. One of Sri Lanka's most fascinating cultures is the practice of tea cultivation, which has transformed the landscape of the central mountains of the country. Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon, is famous worldwide for its high-quality tea. The tea plantations in the hills of Nuwara Elia, Kandy, and Ella are among the country's main tourist attractions. Introduced by the British in the 19th century, Sri Lankan tea is considered one of the best in the world, and tea factories offer tours for visitors to learn about the production process of this millenary beverage. No visit to Sri Lanka is complete without a cup of tea. A curious fact is that Sri Lanka is one of the largest exporters of precious stones in the world, including sapphires and rubies. The city of Ratnapura, located south of Colombo, is known as the City of Gems, and is famous for its long history of precious stone extraction. Tourists can visit the mines and even buy locally produced jewelry. These stones have an international reputation for their quality and brilliance. One of Sri Lanka's most colorful traditions is the Vesak festival, which celebrates the birth, enlightenment, and death of Buddha. During this period, the streets are decorated with lanterns and colorful decorations, and people visit temples to make offerings and meditate. The festival, which takes place in May, is one of the most important religious events in the country and attracts both local residents and tourists seeking to experience this unique celebration. Among the dances, the most traditional and representative is the Kandyan, originating from the central region of the country, with colorful costumes and energetic movements. This dance was originally performed in royal courts to honor the gods and commemorate important events. Today, it is an essential part of cultural and religious celebrations, enchanting tourists and locals alike with its grace and power. Sri Lankan cuisine is a unique blend of flavors. Rice and curry are the main dishes, accompanied by a variety of spices that reflect the influence of different cultures, such as Indian, Malay, and European. The hopper, a type of crispy pancake, is one of the most popular dishes, as is sambol, a spicy coconut-based side dish. Kotu roti, a mixture of chopped bread with vegetables, meat, and spices, is common on almost every corner. Plain tea is an essential part of meals served hot and strong. However, just like in India, hygiene is a significant concern. Preparation conditions often leave much to be desired, with vendors working at outdoor stalls without a shred of hygiene. In addition to its history and culture, Sri Lanka is also famous for its beaches. The southern coast is dotted with charming coastal towns such as Galle, an ancient colonial fortress that is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The beaches of Marisa and Anawatuna are perfect for relaxing, swimming, and even whale watching. On the eastern coast, The city of Trincomalee offers pristine beaches and a rich cultural heritage with Hindu temples and colonial fortresses. Sri Lanka's wildlife is extraordinary. The country boasts rich biodiversity, with elephants, leopards, and wild buffaloes inhabiting its forests and national parks. Yala National Park is particularly famous for being one of the best places in the world to spot leopards. Additionally, the country is one of the few places where you can see both wild elephants and blue whales, depending on the region and time of year. Public transport in Sri Lanka includes buses, trains, and tuk-tuks, with the latter being the most popular and accessible for short distances. Traffic in the country is chaotic, especially in large cities like Colombo, with narrow roads and a disordered fleet of vehicles zigzagging. While motorcyclists seem to ignore any rules, the feeling is that of a chaotic and incessant dance. Trains, on the other hand, are one of the most fascinating ways to explore the country, with special attention to the iconic railway route that crosses the spectacular tea plantations in the Central Mountains. This route, which connects cities like Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, and Ella, is famous for its breathtaking views of green hills covered in tea, deep valleys, and hidden waterfalls. The train winds slowly through the plantations, offering passengers a unique experience, almost like a journey through time, where they can glimpse workers hand-picking tea leaves. Although it is one of the most beautiful train journeys in the world, the carriages are always crowded, and the conditions are sometimes uncomfortable. But the landscape rewards every moment of this magical adventure through the mountains of Sri Lanka. One of the country's most surprising attractions is its temples built inside caves. The Dambulla Temple, for example, is the largest and best preserved cave temple complex in the country, located about 148 kilometers from Colombo. The Dambulla Temple is known for its impressive paintings and sculptures of Buddha. These caves carved into rocky mountains offer an environment of peace and spirituality that attracts tourists and devotees from all over the world. Another fascinating attraction is Adam's Peak, one of the most revered places in Sri Lanka, known for its footprint, which different religions attribute to different figures. Buddhists believe it is Buddha's. Hindus associate it with Shiva, while Christians and Muslims link it to Adam. This mixture of beliefs makes the place a point of spiritual union for many. In summary, Sri Lanka is a country of contrasts and complexity. The combination of an ancient history, a vibrant culture, natural beauty, and warm hospitality makes this small island an unforgettable destination. Although the country faces a severe crisis and extreme poverty, Sri Lanka offers breathtaking landscapes. These are some of the most surprising facts about this nation. Now tell us what impressed you the most. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This encourages me to keep bringing you content. Until the next video.